Let's build this Python program that shuts down your system when you put the wrong password 3 times. Remember, this is for educational purposes. Let's get started. Every device that uses password has its original password saved in the database, and whenever someone tries to log in, it will compare whatever password the person will put with the original password, and if they matches, it will allow the person to log in. So let's create a similar system. First of all, we need a variable of saved pin. And this saved pin, we have our original pin that the system has. In a real-life scenario, this saved pin is supposed to be encrypted to avoid any phishing attack, but we're going to leave it this way for simplicity. The next thing we're going to be doing is our entered pin variable. So I will say entered pin is equal to, this is where we ask the user to put in their pin. So I will say input enter pin. We need to cast our input into an integer. So I'll cut it and write int. With parentheses, then we'll put our input. This helps us to get the input as an integer. Let's create our logic system. So I'm going to write if entered pin is the same thing with our saved pin. We're going to say access granted. Hope you're feeling the flow. We're actually comparing the entered pin with our saved pin. If the both of them are the same, let it show access granted. But if they don't match, then we're going to have an else. So we're going to say wrong pin. Let's try our program. So I'm going to click here to run our code. I'm going to enter wrong password. Like, let me just enter 0099. So when I click here, the system says wrong pin. But let's try the correct pin. So I'm going to run our program again, then enter the original pin. 112233. So when I click enter, the system shows access granted. So let's upgrade our program to the next level. Normally, when someone enters wrong pin, the system doesn't ask the person to retry their pin. So we need to use a while loop. So we can put our code multiple times until we get the right pin. To achieve that, we need two more variables of max input and attempt. So I'm going to come over here and write max input and attempt. So I'm going to copy our code out, create a while loop, and write a logic. So we're going to say if attempt is less than max input. So let's paste our code inside. So I'm going to say break. We want while the code is less than our input amount. If you enter password, let it say access granted and break out from the loop. Else, let it say wrong pin. Now, to avoid an infinite loop, we have to increment our attempt every time that it runs. I'm going to say attempt plus equal to 1. The next thing is to show our remaining attempt. So I'll come over here and write F. Then at this particular place, I'll give space. In curly braces, I'm going to say minus attempt because we need to see our remaining attempt as we are trying the password. Attempt remaining. Okay, now the next important thing is to bring our entered pin variable inside of our while loop so that the system will always prompt us to put our pin as long as our attempt is less than max input. Let's run our code and see. So I'm going to say 11444, which is a wrong password. Now wrong pin, 2 attempts remaining, 4555. Now wrong pin, 1 attempt remaining, 333. Then wrong pin, 0 attempts remaining, then we are out. The next thing we need to create is what will happen when we guess the wrong password for 3 times. So for that, I will come down and say if attempt gets to our max input. So after this, I'll write for I in range. I will have to use steps in this. I'm going to say 5, 0, -1. Let's print I. This for loop is to create a countdown of 5 to 0 before shutting down. And to make it work, we need to import time. So I'll come over here and say import time. So I'll come down here, just below our print. I would write time.sleep. Then we're going to pass in 1. I'm going to come down, just at this place, I'm going to write print and simulate our actual shutdown. I'm going to try the wrong password for the whole 3 times. So the system will now count down. It will show me has shut down. So admitting that we actually added our shutdown code, this is exactly what could have been executed after our system calmed down. So if you really want to go forward and shut down your system, be my guest. We're going to come over here and import OS. After importing the OS, we'll come down here and write os.system. Inside of the parentheses, we'll write shutdown, then space, write /s/t, then 1. Then I'm going to remove this because we no longer need it. So I'm actually going to run this code and put the wrong password, then put another wrong password. I know you're waiting for me to put the last wrong password so I can shut down my system. Let me shock you. I'll put the right password, 112233, then enter. Access granted. So if you need the source code of what we just did right now, comment source code and I will send it to you. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the follow button for the next video.